Listen, I don't, we have to have maybe a tough conversation here. I don't really think it should be tough. I think it should be informative. I am worried that there are young people. I don't know that I don't want to say young voters because I don't know if they're going to vote. But it seems as though there are a bunch of young people that are getting sucked in to wrongly thinking that there's no difference between Trump and Biden. And we saw how dangerous this was in 2016. People who said, Hillary, Trump, they're both sides of the same coin, establishment, whatever, elites. I don't care who wins. Well, Trump won, got 3 Supreme Court picks. Now we've got no more Roe v. Wade, right? The impact was very, very real. And so I'm going to give you an example of something that there's a streamer who goes by the name. Some people know him by Hassan Piker. Some know him by Hassan Abi. Others know him as Hassan Destiny Piker II. Who knows what his name is at this point? And he put out an excretion on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, in response to the news about the forthcoming debates between Trump and Biden, where he said sarcastically, I, for one, am excited to watch 2 80-plus-year-old men yap about a bunch of issues they almost completely align on with regard to policy while acting as though they're miles apart from one another. Now, listen, I like Hassan to the extent that we used to be in touch. He doesn't return my calls anymore. He's too big for me now. That's, by the way, it's very true. But I think that this narrative is very dangerous. And I think Hassan apparently has people in his audience who believe this stuff. It is of critical importance to understand that Trump and Biden are miles apart from each other on so many critical issues. Now, I will get to the similarities in a moment, but we need to make sure young people who, by the way, I don't even know if they vote. It's not even clear that they're going to vote, but they really need to understand what's at stake here. I'll give you some examples. Trump attempted to overturn the 2020 election results and become president despite losing. Biden respects the democratic process and the outcomes of elections. That is not a small difference. And however many right-wing or far left-wing people want to convince you that, he would have loved to become president even though he lost, but he didn't really do that much wrong. This is a critical difference between Trump and Biden. Trump supports stripping bodily autonomy from women. Biden doesn't support that. That's a big difference. Trump supports taking away the health insurance of tens of millions of people. He tried to do it when he was president. Biden doesn't support that. That's a big difference. Trump wants to round up immigrants, put them in camps, and do expedited deportations, even ignoring legitimate asylum claims. Biden doesn't want to do that. That's a major difference. Trump supports the speedy execution of drug dealers after China-style sham trials. Joe Biden doesn't do that. He doesn't want to do that. He respects due process and the rule of law. Trump wants to withdraw from NATO, maybe form an alliance with Russia, and say, I don't care about any of our global responsibilities. Biden doesn't want to do that. That's a big difference. Trump would let Gaza be destroyed and everyone in Gaza be killed, whereas Biden has urged restraint to Benjamin Netanyahu and has even said, if you do X, we're going to cut the military aid. That's a big difference. Trump downplays climate change and wants to roll back environmental regulations. Biden acknowledges climate change and supports environmental protections. That's a major difference. Trump enacted tax cuts primarily benefiting the wealthy and big corporations. Biden supports a tax policy that would benefit middle and lower class folks. Trump promotes deregulation of industries, letting them do whatever they want financially or environmentally. Biden supports regulating businesses to protect consumers and the environment. That's a big difference. Trump appointed conservative judges to the Supreme Court and the federal judiciary, and it led to Roe v. Wade going bye-bye. Biden would appoint judges with a more respectful view of women's bodily autonomy and other issues. Trump criticized and tried to do away with the Affordable Care Act. Biden has made some small expansions to it and wants to do more. So this entire they are the same thing, they're both old white guys who are wealthy. This is a loser's game. Now, I'm not blind. I acknowledge that in a broad sense, Republicans and Democrats in Washington operate within the same political system. They often serve the interests of established power structures and influential interest groups. I acknowledge that. But this overarching reality doesn't negate the substantive, tangible, monumental policy differences between Trump and Biden, and they impact people's daily lives in a real way: healthcare, immigration, environmental protection, justice. And we have to recognize that and not fall into these losers' traps of, it's two old 80-year-old guys who all want the same stuff. Very, very dangerous and factually vapid assertion to be making. Friends don't let friends have brain rot. All right. So work with me to prevent the brain rot from spreading. Hey, Memorial Day, we are going to be doing a one-day membership special. We've got the debates scheduled. The conventions are coming. We are scaling up our coverage, including live coverage. Support the work that we do. And we're going to offer an insane best of the year membership discount on Memorial Day. If you've been thinking, David, I kind of like you. I kind of don't like your hair. I don't really love your shirt, but at the right price, I might consider becoming a member. Get on my newsletter at davidpakman.com. And then on Monday, Memorial Day, you'll get an email telling you how to avail yourself of this bonkers membership discount. I hear our lawyer and accountant beating on the door to the studio right now saying, David, don't do it. It's too big of a discount. We're going to do it. We're doing it on Memorial Day. Get on my newsletter, and then you'll get all the info on Memorial Day.